back to Salam Media. You're still tuned in to your home of humanitarian journalism with myself, Salailo Makwidiri, and we've come to the back end of our show, but we'll be touching on a very, very important topic here, something that I think, all of us need to be involved in, and we'll be speaking to Muslim Hands. They are going to be giving us a bit more information on their Qurbani campaign. We are in that season and that time of the year, and I'm sure they have a lot that they are getting up to this Qurbani season, and most importantly, they'll be sharing with us how you can get involved and help Muslim Hands, distribute, their Qurbani to a lot of countries all across the world that need your assistance. I really love their tagline, the greatest sacrifice. And we'll be speaking in a bit to Thasneem Mullah from Muslim Hands South Africa, who'll be giving us a bit more insight on their Qurbani campaign this year. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Thasneem. Jazakallah so much for joining us and giving us your time.
Wa alaikum salam, and shukran so much for giving us the opportunity to speak about our Qurbani campaign this year.
I mean, pleasure is all ours. First and foremost, just give us a bit more insight on this year's campaign, what it's all about. As I mentioned before, I really love the tagline, the greatest sacrifice. Let us in. What's Muslim Hands currently, getting up to this Qurbani season?
So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yes, indeed, Qurbani is the greatest sacrifice. And I think it's more important to remind ourselves that Qurbani is not only an act of a ritual sacrifice, but it also embodies the value of selflessness, generosity, and compassion. And by offering a Qurbani, we are demonstrating our willingness to give up something precious for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to share our blessings with those that are less fortunate. And alhamdulillah, Muslim Hands, as you mentioned, is offering Qurbani around the world. We have 11 locations this year, starting from as little as $9.95.
And I think with every campaign that you get involved with, there are always objectives and goals. With this year's campaign, what are some of the key objectives that Muslim Hands has set their eyes on?
So our Qurbani campaign aims to provide essential support to those in need during the days of Eid al-Adha festivities. Our primal goal is to ensure that vulnerable communities, both locally and globally, have access to fresh and nutritious meat, fostering a sense of joy and celebration during these auspicious occasions. Also, this is something that generally people don't always have access to in terms of having fresh meat. So it's something for them to look forward to as well.
And I'm just looking at some of the countries that you'll be involved in distributing Qurbani this year. I mean, I'm looking at Niger, the Gambia, Sri Lanka, Senegal, Mauritania, India, Malawi, and so some of these countries, when someone thinks about them, they usually think of really politically unstable countries where there might be violence, or it might be really, really dangerous areas to be in. How does Muslim Hands ensure that the Qurbani donations are distributed effectively and reach those who are most in need, despite the difficult circumstances that might be facing these countries?
Okay, so in order for us to ensure effective distribution, as you mentioned, it can become quite difficult, but we've managed to establish a comprehensive network with trusted partners and local organizations on the ground in these countries. Now, these partners have a deep understanding of the communities that they serve and they work closely with, and they assist us in identifying those most in need. So additionally to that, we also implement a thorough monitoring and evaluation process that helps to track the distribution of the donations, also ensuring transparency and accountability throughout that process.
No, definitely. And I'm sure there's a impact that you're looking into, and what you hope to achieve through this year's Qurbani campaign, not only for the beneficiaries but also for the wider community at large. What are some of those?
Okay, so throughout our Qurbani campaign, we do aim to make a meaningful impact on the lives of the individuals and families, particularly facing hardship. Now, in addition to providing families with the Qurbani meat, and what we normally do is we pack it in a 3-kilo bucket. We also distribute a 2 kilo bag of rice with this. Now, what this does is it ensures that family have necessary ingredients to prepare and enjoy wholesome meals during the days of Eid. This ensures fostering the sense of celebration and unity within their households as well. Moreover, we hope to foster a sense of unity and compassion within the broader community by inspiring individuals to come together and support those in need during this blessed time of the year.
And just lastly, any words to our listeners, those that might want to get involved, those that are not quite sure, what to do this Qurbani season, how they can get involved. Any words to our listeners and our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I urge our listeners to consider the sacrifice or the significance of this Qurbani and the impact it can have on the lives of those in need. And by donating your Qurbani to Muslim Hands, you're not only fulfilling your religious obligation, but also extending a hand of compassion and support to vulnerable communities around the world. If I could take this opportunity to leave our banking details with you as well for anyone that might be interested. We bank with Standard Bank, current account in the name of Muslim Hands. Our account number 071 621 881. That account number again, 071 621 881. And, what we say is together we can definitely make a meaningful difference, inshallah.
Definitely. Really, really appreciate you giving us your time, Sister Thasneem, and giving us insight on Muslims Hands Qurbani campaign. Again, really loving that tagline. And I think that's one, a lot of our audience and those that want to get involved should keep in mind: the greatest sacrifice. I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon, but we're going to leave it here for now. Jazakallah so much.
Barakallah fi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Sister Thasneem Mullah from Muslim Hands giving us their insight on this year's South African Qurbani campaign. Well, they'll be working in various, countries all across the world, but the focus being right here in Africa. They are working in India, Malawi, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, here at home, South Africa, Pakistan, Senegal, the Gambia, and also in Sri Lanka. If you want to donate and get involved, you can visit their website. It's muslimhands.org.za. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you after this.